masters of speed. This is Formula One.
Yo, welcome back. It's Jackmaster Flash. Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are well. We're at Singapore, driving as Lewis Hamilton, starting P4. Shall we get into this setup video? Let's go. So you know the drill by now. Five laps to show you what the setup is like. And we're off. So yeah, I did these 5 laps just to show you guys. Oh, Perez turns in. I think the front wing is broken. Let's check on that.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Okay, my front wing wasn't broken. But yeah, do these 5 laps just to show you guys what the setup is like. You know, it's really good as well just to get the grips with it. This is the corner that I find I'm locking up into the most. But obviously there are some tricky turns around Singapore, especially with it being so close to the walls and whatnot. This one is usually a wing killer. That one and this one, it juts out a little bit. Obviously Perez is going to dip off into the future because they dump all their ERS at the start of the race, but that's okay because we've got plenty of laps to reel him back in. And Singapore, the AI around here, regardless of what level they're on, remember I run 100 AI and equal performance. The AI aren't very good around a street circuit, especially Singapore. So we got plenty of time. Plenty of time to catch back up. Especially through sector 3, which we are in now. They obviously their ERS drops off because they haven't got infinite usage. As you can see, I've already gained 3/10 back to him by the end of the lap, as he crosses the line for a 44.4 and I done a 45.3, so not too bad. I'm probably going to stick behind him though to get
battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
Get DRS because it's just an easier way of overtaking, especially around here. But as you can see, they are the AI, that is, they are running far lower wings than what I am. And yes, you could get away with running probably 4 or 5 clicks less wings than I've got in the setup, but I have found, especially doing all the other setups that have come before this one, higher wings are the way to go. Yes, it causes a lot more drag on the car, but the lap time you can gain from just throwing the car in, and this is why I've gone the way I've gone with this setup, is because you can really attack the corners. Obviously attacking the corners puts a lot more issues into tyre wear, tyre life, tyre heat, but if you know how to manage your tyres well, you can really get a good lap time. And in the few social races I've done in one of the leagues I'm in, which is starting this week, it's really helped. Seem to be a lot more on it this game. A lot faster.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 5/10 a lap.
As you can see, the tyre temps are holding quite well right now, as I'm going to just get past Perez. Obviously being stuck in the car's dirty air. Increases tyre temp as well. As you can see, he moved over though, and I've now got the dreaded yellow wing damage, which he's going to have a lot more straight line speed than me now. It's only yellow though, so it's not too bad. Not ideal, especially around the street circuit. but it is what it is. We roll with the punches. But you can see them temperatures are rising. But yeah, you have to be very careful when you're racing the AI, as they do like to cut you off. I'm going to keep that 31% in the battery, and I'm going to try and make the move next time round and try and make that stick. A 41.0 fastest lap isn't great. Obviously, in practice sessions where I was actually getting the setup created, getting it to work, don't know if I'm not going to be able to take that like I did before. Yeah, in the practice sessions that I did prior to this, obviously getting the setup to where the setup needs to be, I was finding that I was in the low 40s. I had a couple of races where I dipped into the 39s for the fastest lap, which is really nice. Don't know if I'm gonna just send it on him by here anyway. Oh, couldn't stop.
Brilliant, nice move. Keep
But that's up into P1. What are we on, lap 4? If I don't create the gap now, but it's difficult to create the gap when you've got so much understeer from a broken wing. Obviously, last lap, he's going to have so much ERS, to use, and it's just going to be defending. It's like he's going to have DRS on me now, so I'm going to use what remaining battery I have to try and pull away, but it's very difficult when the old front wing's broken. And obviously, the faster you try and go, the more you are overheat the tyres, so you need to be so careful around Singapore. As you can see, the front right is at 103 already, front left 104. This really is a tyre killer. I think if you plan to do a two-stop strategy around here, you're really going to struggle.
just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Don't know if I can hold on to this lead, because
7.1 seconds.
Perez is only 3/10 behind, and down this back straight he's going to have a lot more momentum than I am. Should do what he did to me, to be fair, cut him off, but we'll see. He's going to gain. He's going to have overspeed as well. Nah, he's run out of room. He's not going to be able to go around it. I'm going to make sure of that. Obviously, you can bully the AI as well, as much as they bully you. But losing the end plate isn't one of the more sensible things you can do around a street circuit, because you need as much downforce as the car can actually give you. Because when the tyres get worn around here, it becomes very, very greasy, and it feels as if the car hasn't got any grip at all. And then obviously you are struggling. You lose so much time in downforce and in tyre wear, tyre performance. Like I said, they just overheat, and it's absolutely crazy just on how much you lose. You lose 7.5 seconds, I think, in the pits by changing the front wing, and then you probably lose about 3 to 5/10 a lap just with lack of downforce. Onto the setup. If you've got any comments about it, let me know down below. Just let me know what you think. Do all that good stuff, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the whole team at Mercedes. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, confidence breeds confidence. Success breeds success. They are very much enjoying a purple patch right now.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
That's got to be the Flying Finn. Wait, how many Flying Finns have we got now? Anyway, I'm talking about Bottas this time. Just great raw speed and a good job in the traffic as well.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next
Singapore setup. So, you know what Singapore is like. Singapore is just a little bit bigger version than Monaco. So, it's going to be high downforce, tight, twisty turns, and really difficult to overtake. However, this is the setup I've gone with. 45 on the front, 42 on the rear. You can really throw the car into the corners and really, be aggressive and just go for it wherever you like. It's really good. Well, I found it a really good setup for, really attacking the corners and getting as much out of it. Yes, you'll be a little bit draggy on the straights, and but you will be able to really go for it. This game, it seems to be high downforce or higher downforce is the way to go. It doesn't, regardless of what circuit, other than Monza, Spa, and possibly Las Vegas. I think higher downforce is key, especially when it comes to league racing. On the transmission, I've gone with probably the highest off diff that I've ever gone with, and that's 54%, and it really does help the car. So obviously 55 on, 54 off. You can take this down as low as 50 if you're finding your wheel spinning quite a lot. But obviously when you change it in game, it goes up and down in 5% increments. So maybe start off at 60, and then obviously if you need to, you can drop it down 2 clicks. Obviously in game, it goes up and down in 5s. On the suspension geometry, you know the drill by now. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Right, left, which means obviously all the way to the right, all the way to the right, all the way to the left, all the way to the left. Alright, the suspension. I've gone with 29 on the front and I've gone with 9 on the rear. Again, it's the way these cars are set up, it seems to work very well with the suspension being set at a much higher value than the rear. It kind of creates like a pendulum effect. However, to counteract that pendulum effect, I've gone with a low front anti-roll bar and a higher rear anti-roll bar. It puts a lot more stability in the car. Sometimes, if you run a high front anti-roll bar and a low rear anti-roll bar, yes, that's probably the quickest. However, coming out of corners, you can, if you're not quick enough, you can cause the car to over-rotate. And at Singapore, with the walls being so tight, you don't want much over rotation, or I find the way I drive, I don't want much over rotation. So to stabilize the rear of the car, I've gone with 4 on the front, 11 on the rear, and there aren't that many curves to bounce over at Singapore. Yes, there are some sausage curbs, but providing you stay away from them, 34 on the front and 36 on the rear, right height should be enough. Again, this only applies to racers that use ABS off. Going with 100 on the front, 56 brake bias. What I've found was I was locking up into the corner, which after the second DRS straight, because obviously you get DRS coming down the main straight, and then obviously the second straight. And there's 1 or 2 I was locking up into as well. So I've gone with 56, possibly change this during the race, whether I go to 58 or drop it down. But obviously I found any lower than 56 and I was locking the rears. And on the tyres, again, this is a street circuit, so it is very, very crucial that you run minimum or close to minimum pressures as possible, simply because it causes so much heat. And if you watched the 5-lappers, you would have seen by about lap 3-4 the tyres were well up into the hundreds, even with this low tyre pressure. So yeah, go and watch that. But I've gone with 22.2 on the right, 22.3 on the left, 20.0, so obviously the lowest on the rear right, and then 20.1 on the rear left. It's definitely more heavy towards the right hand side of the car. You know the drill by now though, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really, really does help, and I really appreciate all of you that follow me and comment. You know, if there's any questions about the setup, hit them up below. Take care, guys. Peace.